Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video here on Marvel Strike Force. Now, have you been like me going through the supply store and the orb store, and good God, there is just so much bloat in this game right now. Like, if you scroll through this store, now, yes, some of these are orbs that we've already had, but like even towards the, like, there's just so much. I feel like this game has become a giant shopping simulator. Like, I'm not even joking. Like half the time I spend in the game right now is me scrolling through the orb section and wondering what I have to open today or what I'm opening later on. Right? This feels to be like like a regular thing. They've even moved the Sentinel Forge orb up at the top. I was wondering where that went. But in today's video, I want to do a bit of maybe it might be fun. I'm going to do a review of the orbs, of the team orbs that we've had, basically from the Illuminati to now with Nimrod. We don't have Omega Sentinel yet, so I might be able to make a prediction on how that's going to go. And I want to rank them. I want to rank them from best to worst and just talk about each one of them and what kind of merits they've had or not. It's just something fun that I kind of want to do because honestly, it's a bit crazy that we're still continuing on with these orbs, and we are going to get a team orb for the Night Stalkers as well. So the pain has not ended yet. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I have a tier list. We're just going to go through this together. I've rated it S, A, B, C, and F. Now, there's only a handful of characters that we can even throw up on here. I put them all at the top here, just for easy access here. Although Omega, again, we don't know what Omega Sentinel is yet. But I want to talk about, the history. Where we were at. Like, where did this start? How did we get here? And how were they? So you may remember, it's been some time ago. It's been, I think it's been a couple months now, hasn't it? Maybe almost 3 months on Black Panther Shuri and Hank Pym. I could tell you the exact date, actually, if I had my spreadsheet up at the time when I started talking about this. Let's bring this over here. So this is my character spreadsheet, which you've probably seen before. Let's go down. So we had Hank Pym, Black Panther Shuri here, July. We're about middle of September, so not quite 3 months. August, September, yeah, not quite 3 months, 2.5 months maybe. And Black Panther Shuri was released on July the 2nd, and Hank Pym was released on July the 11th. Now, they did have a character release, and actually it was pretty quick for Black Panther Shuri, as you can see here. It was less than 2 weeks. It was 11 days, actually, between Shuri's release and Shuri's event. Hank Pym, that's why, if you guys remember, we were talking about hanking it. It's no longer hanking it. Now it's like whatever the hell this is, right? This abomination that we have right now. And so that lasted about 3.5 weeks, I think, between Hank Pym and his event. And that was the worst it was at the time. Now we have the abomination of what we have now, with the exception of Sentinel. For whatever reason, now I think because of this, we have an event. If you've been following my data mines, there is going to be an event next week, which does require Orcus, which is why I think that they pushed up the release date for Sentinel. If you've been watching my videos lately, and Gladiator took about 30 days. But let's talk about the orb. So I don't have the orb to show you anymore, but I'm sure that you guys remember, for those of you who've been playing, that the Black Panther Shuri and Hank Pym orb were pretty similar. The Shuri orb, yeah, both of them actually, in fact, they had a large drop amount of Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, and Iron Man. And actually, a lot of us thought it was garbage at the time, but you actually got a lot of shards. Like, over the course of the releases, I got an easy 7-star on my alt account, and then some for for all three of the characters. I actually didn't have them at 7-star at the time. I actually hadn't even had the star ranks for the characters required at 7-star at the time. But by the time I got through both of these characters, I had 7-star on both, and it really fast-tracked the farming on Mr. Fantastic, who is on a node, but it still shaved off a ton of days that I didn't have to do, and I didn't have to spend energy on. And so I actually didn't mind these orbs. Now, this is where the jackpot started, right? And it was not guaranteed shards for these orbs as well. I don't remember how many orbs that we got free to play as a result of doing this, but I know that they were in things like Pocket Dimension. There were some screw-ups, as usual, in Marvel Strike Force that gave us free orbs and things like that. So I don't know how many orbs we opened total, but there was still a lot of stuff. Anyways, I got lucky, and I also got a jackpot on Hank Pym. So these are kind of our anchor, first time on these orbs, and so I'm going to put both of them at A. Now, I think that the odds, if I'm not mistaken, I think the odds to actually pull the characters were, I think they might have been better. I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I thought that they were better than what the Annihilator orbs were, which is why we started complaining about them. But the sheer amount of character shards on the other three characters compared to what we have now with the characters is why I'm rating them an A. Because this was their first time, but it was by far not the worst compared to what we have now. And so I did actually like these for what they were. And for everyone who already had the other characters at 7-star, yes, it was Ultimus food, but there was use for Ultimus food because you could recycle them into Ultimus orbs to farm characters. Bumps now is a bit of a problem, so you can't really do that as much. Then we moved on. Captain Britain happened, all like that, and then Gladiator was the first character to come out. Now, this was the new Gladiator orb, which actually is he's right here. I can show you, right? And so the Gladiator orb, I think, by all accounts, we could say was not very good. It was like orange gear, and then in the middle, it was 75% Silver Surfer, 18% chance of one Gladiator shard. I forget what all the drops was. It 210, 5, 2, something like that. But you know, we were getting these every single day from Arena for about 2 weeks, I think, before they changed over to the Gore orb. The milestone for this, however, is gone now, so it's not available anymore. But you know, I just want to let people know that I did core about 100 shards of Gladiator, and we're in the Strike Pass right now, and I'm at 120 out of 200, which is pretty good. If we were to subtract what I cored, I would still probably be close to a 5-star, even without the Strike Pass. So I think maybe I did get lucky, you know, over the course of all these orbs that I've been opening with the Gore orb and the Thanos orb as well. But it's not so bad now in retrospect. The orb itself was not particularly great. And I didn't like that it was one shard of Silver Surfer. Like, they took what was in the other orbs and they reduced it by a crap ton. And so for that reason, I'm going to put Gladiator in the C tier for the orb. It's not a very good orb. I hate the fact that it was just one Silver Surfer, and their excuse for this was basically that they were helping new players by giving you the Silver Surfer shards. He's farmable in the Blitz store. So honestly, this is a bullshit answer, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about Gore. Oh, there we go. Let's talk about Gore. And so his orb is here as well. They're all in here, I'm pretty sure. They're still selling it. So Gore orb is down here. The Gore Annihilator orb. Same left and right pillar stuff, but the center pillar changed a little bit, right? And so now we have a 54% chance for Silver Surfer, 27% for Gore, and then they actually break it down a lot better because you can actually see the numbers, unlike the Gladiator orb, which they never really fixed. 1, 2, 8, 10, 100, and then also an 18% chance to get Gladiator. So I actually like this orb. Kinda. You know, like, it was 55, it's 54.5% chance for Silver Surfer, but 45.5% chance of basically anything that's not Silver Surfer. 27% for Gore, 18% for Gladiator, which is probably what people like the most. People like the Gore. Oh, well, I mean, like, by comparison to the Gladiator orb, I think people like the Gore orb. And where I'm at with Gore as far as shards wise, it's not great. I don't think I cored that much for Gore on my main account. I'm trying to remember. Honestly, I probably pulled a couple orbs, but I definitely did not pull as much as Gladiator, because after I heard about, you know, how well he was doing, you know, he was kind of hitting like a wet noodle, I decided to kind of scale back on spending cores on him. So I didn't, and I saved for Thanos. And so that's probably why I'm not at a 5-star right now. But this isn't too bad. If I were to subtract what I got from cores, I would still be in the 4-star range right now. And I think by the time this monthly finishes, I'm going to be pretty close to a 5-star Gore. So that's not bad, considering we need these characters for the upcoming legendary event, right? You know, and so I maybe I was just really lucky again, but things weren't that bad. And I actually, the Gore orb was pretty good, so I'm gonna put it as a B. You know, it's not amazing, but I did not think it was very good. You know what? Actually, I'm almost close to putting it into the A tier, just because of what the others are by comparison. But I'm going to leave it here in the B tier, because I think that the Gore orb was actually pretty good. It's unfortunate that we didn't get the Gore orbs in the arena for as long. I think we got more Gladiator orbs than we did Gore, because I think that they shifted pretty quickly away from the Gore orb, probably because they're being a little bit too generous on this one. The next one is the Thanos orb. Now, we're still earning this in the arena payouts right now. So we've had the most amount of Thanos orbs, I think, compared to the other ones. I'm just like, it's got to be in here somewhere. There's so many. Where the hell is it? There it is, the Thanos Annihilator orb. We're also getting 1,500 fragments every single day from the arena daily objective, and then we're getting whatever our arena-based payout is as well. Now, unfortunately, they went back to the 75% Silver Surfer chance, and I hate that. I really, really hate that. And they actually made this worse comparatively to Gore, that is only 11.62% for any Thanos shards, 8.48 for Gore, and 4.88 for Gladiator. So overall, this is just a 25% chance of all three. So it's really not the Thanos Annihilator orb. It's kind of like the team orb at this point, with a slightly higher chance for Thanos. So where am I with Thanos? I'm at 12 out of 130. Now, I do want to say that I did pull a significant amount of cores. Amount of shards. I did pull to get them unlocked. So I think I did actually pull upwards to 100 shards for Thanos, which means that, subtracting that, I probably had less than about 100 shards total in terms of where I'm at in my shards for Thanos, right? So I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have Thanos unlocked yet, and I do want to talk about this as well, because they made a statement. Where is it? I have it up somewhere. In the Path to Orcus. Remember this blog from like 2.5 weeks ago? They said there was this Weekend Blitz Hunters event. Supplement your Orcus Team Orb and Cypher supply through a series of Weekend Blitz milestones that reward key resources and also Thanos endgame flat shards. Like, not orbs, flat shards. The inevitable cherry on top. Right? So when the hell is this happening? Is this like after the showcase is gone for the Annihilators? This was tabled on September the 3rd. So this was like 16 days ago. It's quite some time ago now. And the milestone for the Annihilator orbs was, I think it's going to end in about 12 days. So not this weekend, but next week, the following, like, I don't know how many weeks away it is until we get this. But, I know there's a lot of people out there that still have not unlocked Thanos Endgame. And we're moving on to the first Night Stalker's character in like a week and a half. It's absolute madness. Let's rank the Thanos orb. Where is it compared to Gladiator? I think it's as bad as Gladiator. Okay, I'm going to move Gore up to A because Thanos gets a B. Because we've had more of them, and the spread of the three characters, I suppose, makes it a bit better than the Gladiator orb. Because this is just Gladiator in his orb, whereas this is all three of the characters. And so there's a chance to get some of the others, but then that makes Gore better because Gore just had higher odds, right? I had less chance of Silver Surfer, which is what I wanted. So I guess that's where things end up being now as a result of that. Let's move on to Orcus, though, because I want to talk about that because we have two of those. Now, we've had the Sentinel, and we're still actually getting the Sentinel Factory Orb. It takes me so long just to scroll through here. There's Iron Legion. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Sentinel Factory Orb. Okay, so this is where we started with the Orcus. On the left side, we do have Raid Energy and Ciphers. On the right side, we have one of those two, and then we have a 1 guaranteed shard of Sentinel. So we were getting we have been getting 12 orbs a week, I think, from the Dark Future and what was the Tolerance's Extinction milestone. And I do like that it's a guaranteed shard. For better or for worse, the slow drip is guaranteed. And we also had the Sentinel event, but not including the Sentinel event, though, I think that the fact that we were getting guaranteed shards made me happier, for better or for worse. So I'm going to put it a B for the Sentinel Orb. I think that everything is better than what was sort of in some of the other orbs. The Orcus, all of the drop rates on this stuff is higher than what we're going to see in the next orb. And the fact that it's guaranteed, it was okay. I mean, it's not fun. I'm not saying that this is great. I'm just saying by comparison and where we are right now, it's a decent orb. Finally, we get to this orb, the Nimrod orb, which is you've seen me rant about this a couple times now because it is awful. It is, I don't even know where it is. Sentinel Evolution orb. This is terrible. This is god awful. The drop rates on the Cypher has gone down from the Sentinel orb. It is not, they still have got the same garbage right pillar, and it's not guaranteed in the middle. And what to make matters worse is they don't give very many of these orbs out. They were giving these as rewards for Dark Dimension 8 for the milestones, and you would think that for spending the time to clear DD8 nodes early, they would give us this in droves. They would give us this like the Annihilator orbs, giving us like 10 of them at a time. But no, we get one every single goddamn day. And even on the DD8 milestones, we get like 2 or like a hand, like 1 or 2 per node. Like it's honestly insulting. This has been the most insulting orb that we've ever seen. And I really hope that the Omega Sentinel orb is not worse than this. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a meltdown. So for that matter, we're gonna be giving Nimrod an F. This is by far the worst team orb that we've ever seen. In fact, I realize I don't have an S, so this is a bit unfair. You know what? Fuck it. There we go. I think that I think the Illuminati's actually set the standards here for these team orbs. It's absolutely crazy. And then Gore was, I think, better, the best one of the Annihilator orb, and Sentinel's, you know, not amazing, but given the fact that we've been getting a handful of them, and it's been slightly predictable on that sense, and it has a guaranteed shard. Nimrod, absolutely garbage. They should never have done this, and this is probably what's pissing me off the most right now in the game right now, because they're giving it to us, but it's just not guaranteed, and you can, you know, there's going to be people who get lucky and get them unlocked, and there's going to be people who have nothing. Right, because there is a statistical chance that you can have 0 shards at this point for Nimrod, despite doing everyday content and that daily drip that you're supposed to be getting, and whatever that quote is with like engaging gameplay and I don't know, rewards and crap like that. And so I just wanted to do this just for funsies, because we've had like almost 3 months of this stuff now, and I wanted to share what my thoughts have been on these slow drip orbs, on these team orbs, and it's not ending yet. We're still having more of this. They're experimenting on the player base, and I swear, if this goes downhill any worse than the Nimrod orb, there's going to be more videos to come. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Boilon signing out.